Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are unpacking just an absolutely incredible underdog story. Picture this, a founder taking on massive gig economy giants. And here's the crazy part, not from some plush Silicon Valley office. No, they're building this straight from the front seat of a cargo van. So let's look at how they're actually pulling this off. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for the day. First, we'll look at the broken gig economy. Then we'll check out the Surf Sprint solution. After that, it's the Bootstrappers launch plan, followed by the $0 marketing hustle, the Red Bull content strategy, and finally, we'll talk about hacking the TikTok algorithm.
All right, starting with section 1, the broken gig economy and the real problem with middlemen.
To really get why a new app is even needed, we have to look at this whole David versus Goliath dynamic that's playing out right now. Seriously, have you ever paid $30 for a ghost lead? Because wow, that is the painful everyday reality for thousands of contractors. These massive legacy platforms, they basically treat hardworking local operators, plumbers, movers, handymen, like they're just ad revenue. Pros are paying these hefty fees literally just to apply for a job they might not even get. They pay the fee, call the customer, and crickets. Nobody answers. It's basically turned into a casino where the house always wins and the local worker, they're just left holding the bag.
Which brings us to section 2, the Surf Sprint solution, or what I like to call a flat fee revolt.
And this brilliantly illustrates the antidote, which is launching right out of the local neighborhoods of Utah. The paradigm shift here is just massive. Think about the old way for a second. Bidding wars, expensive lead fees, greedy middleman taking a huge cut of your hard-earned cash, right? Well, Surf Sprint introduces this revolutionary, low-friction model. Pros just pay a flat $29 a month. That is it. No hidden fees. When they're ready to work, they just toggle their availability to online instantly. And the absolute best part? They keep 100% of their earnings. It completely cuts out the middleman, directly connecting stranded customers with pros who are available right at that exact moment. And it's not just for one super narrow niche either. We're talking about coverage for over 20 specific categories. This ranges from those high-stress, I need help right now emergencies, like say a dead car battery jumpstart or urgent junk removal, all the way to planned lifestyle services like meal prep or even mobile pet grooming. Because hey, sometimes even the dog needs a haircut on demand, right? Moving on to section 3, the Bootstrappers launch plan. It's all about securing the supply. Because look, having a great app idea, that is maybe 1% of the battle. The real beast is the dreaded marketplace cold start problem. You absolutely have to secure the supply side, the pros on the app, before you could ever hope to attract a stranded customer. So, to crack this, the founder designed an incredibly frictionless 5-minute sign-up process. It's so smooth, pros verify their ID, which instantly builds trust with the community. Then they pick up to 4 services they offer, set up their billing, and boom, they hit the toggle, and they are live and online. Now, here is where it gets really genius. How they overcome that awful hesitation at the billing step. Because let's be real, if you have 0 customers yet, why on earth would a pro pay you? The fix is a 30-day free trial hook. By giving those early pros their first 30 days completely free, you basically nuke all the friction. You are essentially making these first few dozen pros the co-founders of the marketplace. They get to sit on the app totally free of charge while the founder literally hits the pavement to hunt down those crucial first customers. Okay, let's get into section 4, the $0 marketing hustle, or how to validate for free. So, the crucial point here is discipline. When you don't have some massive venture capital fund backing you and you're literally funding your tech startup from cash you make doing junk removal out of your van, well, you have to get strictly disciplined. We are talking about a total marketing budget of just $100 a week. For the first 2 weeks, the budget is exactly $0. It is purely organic outreach to validate the messaging. You literally do not spend a dime until you know for sure what works. Then, by weeks 3 and 4, you kind of test the waters with a tiny $50 budget for paid meta ads, strictly focused on recruiting pros. Finally, by month 2, once you actually have some momentum, you split that $100 between finding pros and finding customers. It's highly controlled, and honestly, it's just incredibly smart. But what does organic outreach actually mean in the real world? Well, it means doing the unglamorous stuff. It's showing up as a real human being with real dirt on your hands in local community Facebook groups, places like SLC Buy Nothing or Nextdoor. Doing that will always, and I mean always, outperform some polished AI-generated corporate graphic. People out there want to support local hustlers in their community, not some faceless corporation. This takes us to section 5, the Red Bull content strategy.
Basically, you are the brand.
And this really builds into an overarching philosophy for social media that is a massive paradigm shift for modern bootstrappers. Here is the light bulb moment for you. The story is the ad. You are the brand. ServeSprint is just the proof. Think about it for a second. Red Bull doesn't actually sell a canned energy drink in their marketing, right? They sell an extreme, high-energy lifestyle. The drink just happens to be there. In the exact same way, this founder shouldn't just post boring screenshots of the app. He's got to sell that blue-collar, early morning, dirt under the fingernails Utah hustle. The lifestyle itself is the magnet. The app is just a tool that happens to live inside that world.
So practically, this breaks down into 5 specific content pillars. You've got showing the raw grind of 5 a.m. junk removal jobs, the late-night builder thoughts while actually coding the app, that hyperlocal Utah pride, the transparent, gritty reality of money and freedom in the gig economy, and lastly, the relentless mindset it takes to build something from scratch. A raw, totally unscripted video, filmed right from the driver's seat of a cargo van that touches on these pillars, that is going to beat a boring, polished software pitch any day of the week.
All right, finally, Section 6, hacking the TikTok algorithm to go from 0 to 10K followers.
Listen, if you have 0 followers right now and you need to reach complete strangers fast, TikTok is your absolute best friend. Unlike a lot of other platforms, its algorithm pushes content to people who don't follow you, based entirely on engagement. So here's the exact timeline our founder uses to turn a brand new account into a straight-up customer acquisition engine. In weeks 1 and 2, the goal is small, just 100 followers, to gain the algorithm's trust. Then, by weeks 3 and 4, hitting 1,000 followers unlocks your ability to go live. Moving into month 2, it's all about hitting 5,000 followers to establish solid niche authority as that Utah blue-collar founder. And then by month 3, hitting that massive 10,000 follower milestone finally unlocks clickable links and serious monetization tools. But to actually hit those milestones, your execution has to be flawless. And the golden rule here is the number 3. Posting 3 times a day in week 1, that is absolutely non-negotiable. TikTok heavily rewards volume early on. You basically have to rapidly train the algorithm to understand exactly who your audience is. By posting 3 times a day, you are aggressively signaling to the algorithm, hey, I belong in this specific Utah operator building an app niche. And when you do post, your hooks have to be razor sharp. You have exactly 0.5 seconds to stop the scroll. No pressure, right? Try using formulas like nobody talks about this to create instant curiosity. Or maybe day X of building ServeSprint to create an episodic journey people actually want to follow. Something like POV, you built an app and makes the content highly relatable, while saying the reason Thumbtack doesn't want you to see this creates instant controversy and plays up that underdog narrative. The bottom line, if you do not nail that first half second, your video goes completely unseen. And oh, here is a massive, completely free algorithm hack that so many people just miss. Reply to every single comment in the first hour of posting. I mean it, TikTok sees this rapid-fire engagement, assumes your video is sparking a hot conversation, and immediately pushes it out to even more people. Not only does it supercharge your views, but it also builds an incredibly loyal early community who feel like they're truly seen and heard. It's literally free algorithm fuel, and anyone can use it. So what does this all mean for us? We've walked through the flat fee solution, the really gritty launch plan, and those brilliant zero-budget marketing hacks. This isn't just about ServeSprint anymore. This is a true masterclass in how to build a business with nothing but sweat equity and really smart strategy. Remember, authenticity and hustle will always, always outperform a massive advertising budget if you know how to wield them. Which leaves me with one final question for you. Are you ready to drop the corporate polish and start building in public?